For remaining 80% current affairs video and general studies complete videos, please subscribe to our complete package. 2. ISRO launches 6 Singapore satellites. What for ISRO tested fourth stage of PSLV during the launch? Why are all satellites and missiles launched from the east coast and in east direction? Why satellites' launch centers are always located near equator? What are geostationary orbits? What are geosynchronous orbits? What are polar orbits? GS Paper 3, Space Technology. Why recently in news? India on Wednesday successfully put 6 Singapore satellites into orbit, after a perfect launch of its workhorse, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV-C-29. It was its landmark 50th space mission from here. Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, also scored a splendid hat-trick of exclusive commercial launches this year, after the July and September missions when it launched 11 satellites, including those of United States and United Kingdom. PSLV-C-29 blasted off from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, SDSC, and released the 6 satellites one by one into a 550 km circular orbit after 21 minutes of exercise. The 6 satellites that ISRO placed in their orbit are Helios 1, 400 kg, Earth Observation Satellite; Velox CI, 123 kg, Microsatellite; Velox 2, 13 kg, 6U CubeSat Technology Demonstrator; AthnexSat 1, Nanosatellite; Kentridge 1, 78 kg, Microsatellite; Galasa, 3.4 kg, 2U CubeSat. What for ISRO tested fourth stage of PSLV during the launch? Apart from launching 6 Singapore satellites, ISRO also successfully tested the fourth stage of its PSLV rocket. After placing the satellites in designated orbit, ISRO can restart the fourth stage of the rocket and put remaining satellite in different orbit. Why are all satellites and missiles launched from the east coast and in east direction? Why satellites' launch centers are always located near equator? When seen from the North Pole, the Earth rotates anti-clockwise, that is from west to east. The surface velocity of rotation varies from point to point on the Earth. It is about 1,600 km per hour near equator. The velocity gradually reduces as we move to the poles and it is practically zero there. A satellite launched from the sites near the equator towards the east direction will get an initial boost equal to the velocity of Earth's surface. The initial boost helps in cutting down the cost of rockets used to launch the satellites. Another characteristic of launching satellites is that the launching stations are generally located near eastern coastline so that, just in case of failure of the launch, the satellite does not fall on built-up hinterland. What are polar orbits? These are the orbits where satellites pass over the poles, that is, satellites will revolve around Earth in north-south direction. They orbit between 100 km and 200 km above the Earth's surface, taking around 90 minutes to make each orbit. The Earth spins beneath the satellite as it moves, so the satellite can scan the whole surface of the Earth. Low-orbit polar satellites have uses such as monitoring the weather, observing the Earth's surface, military uses including spying. What are geostationary orbits? These are the orbits where satellites orbits around equator. The height of their orbit, 36,000 kilometers, is just the right distance so that it takes them 1 day, 24 hours, to make each orbit. This means that they stay in a fixed position over the Earth's surface. Geostationary satellites have uses such as communications, including satellite TV, global positioning or GPS, which is used for satellite navigation systems. Geostationary satellites always appear in the same position when seen from the ground. This is why satellite television dishes can be bolted into one position and do not need to move. What is geosynchronous orbit? There is a difference between the geostationary and geosynchronous orbits. We should note that while their orbits may be many, there is only one equatorial orbit, that is the orbit which is directly above the Earth's equator at 35,786 kilometers. Sometimes we send a satellite in the space which though has a period of revolution is equal to period of rotation of Earth, but its orbit is neither equatorial nor circular. So, this satellite will finish one revolution around the Earth in exactly 1 day, that is 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4.1 seconds, yet it does not appear stationary from the Earth. It looks oscillating but not stationary, and that is why it is called geosynchronous. It is practically not possible to achieve an absolute geostationary orbit. So, the terms geostationary and geosynchronous are used alternatively. 3. Pak test fires nuclear-capable ballistic Shaheen-1A missile. Why it's a global concern as Pakistani nuclear arsenals are growing. What is the way forward? GS Paper 2, India and its neighbors. Why recently in news? Pakistan has successfully tested the nuclear-capable Shaheen-1A ballistic missile with a range of 900 kilometers. However, the location of the test was not disclosed by Pakistan government. It is capable of carrying both conventional as well as nuclear warhead and is capable of striking targets deep within India. It is second nuclear-capable missile test to be undertaken by Pakistan in December 2015. Earlier Shaheen-3 surface-to-surface ballistic missile with a range of 2,750 kilometers was tested. Why it's a global concern as Pakistani nuclear arsenals are growing. Pakistan's nuclear arsenal is on a track to be the third largest. Its addition of small tactical nuclear weapons in recent years is even more troubling. This is a country which spends a fifth of its budget on the military, from long-range missiles to F-16s, but under 2.5% on education. Pakistan has the capability to produce perhaps 20 nuclear warheads annually, while India appears to be producing about 5 warheads annually. Pakistan is estimated to possess around 120 nuclear weapons against India's 100. Within 10 years, Pakistan could field 350 nuclear weapons, the report notes. The way forward. For Pakistani nuclear arsenals, there will always be threats from extremists and insurgents. If the situation go beyond control on one bad day, Pakistan may go unanswered for several questions that humankind suffering demands. If Pakistan can't restrain the nuclear weapons and missile developments, it might invite increased risk to nuclear safety, security, or strategic stability. Pakistan's nuclear weapons do not address its internal challenges such as manifold economic and societal weaknesses.